So I was rewatching some old MCU movies and I constantly found myself saying, damn, look at what they did to this character. What a waste. And it really had me thinking. There's been so many instances where a character or storyline has been wasted when being adapted into a comic book movie or a television series. So I decided to start this new series on the channel called In this series, we're going to dive into some of the biggest fumbles and missed opportunities in comic book movies and TV shows. And for the first episode, I'll be covering Black Widow. Black Widow has been heavily criticized, rightfully so, for many reasons, one being the depiction of Taskmaster. Now, Taskmaster in the film was revealed to be Dreykov's daughter, who was thought to be dead. Now, you guys know how I feel about gender swapping and that kind of thing, so instead of gender swapping Taskmaster, I have a better alternative that was right there in the film. Now, this character is known as Melina Vostokov. In the Black Widow film, Melina is Natasha's mother figure. She's not her biological mother, but she raised Natasha. In the comic books, Melina Vostokov is actually a Black Widow villain known as the Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden was originally a Russian agent who worked alongside Natasha, but after she left and became the Black Widow, Melina sort of lived in her shadow, which caused her to develop a deep resentment for Natasha. And sometime later, Melina was contracted as one of a few assassins to take out the Black Widow, which she gladly accepted. Now, the Iron Maiden typically wears a metal suit of armor, so along with her experience as a trained Russian agent, she has enhanced strength and durability. So what does this all mean? Well, instead of gender swapping Taskmaster or even using the character at all, they could have easily used Melina as one of the antagonists, and I'm going to prove it to you in a second. But before I continue, as I was gathering clips for this video, I came across a very interesting clip of one of the Black Widow writers talking about the way Taskmaster was handled. Let's hear what he has to say.
So did the Mandarin one was had such a strong reaction apparently that there was a one shot to remedy it, and now we're getting a Mandarin or a new version of the Mandarin with 10 rings in Shang-Chi. Did you guys have a conversation about making that change, or was there ever like a comparison or a thought about those two like ever being an issue?
Well, there was no, I mean, it was more discussion of how do we make, because Taskmaster was going to be involved, and there was versions before I came that was Tony Masters, and it felt, I kept thinking, I was like, can this guy somehow not just be a goon? Like, I don't want, like, because Dreykov in the Red Room is the thing that's tied into Natasha personally in her past of giant nefarious, that as we learned, the spy station that is circling the globe in the atmosphere. So why is there this guy, like, why would this guy be an arm of them? That's what I kept trying to be like, what is, I trust me, I looked very, very far for like, how do we get this Tony Masters guy to believably be an agent of the Red Room?
So let me get this straight. They couldn't figure out how to connect Taskmaster to the Red Room, so they did this instead.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, don't you think that's kind of lazy?
So since these writers don't want to read any comics or do a simple Google search, I'll have to fix this myself. So Taskmaster in the comics is a mercenary, and one of his motivations is money. I'd also like to remind you guys that Dreykov, our main antagonist, is very wealthy. They could have had Dreykov hire Taskmaster to hunt Natasha for what she did to his daughter. And remember, that's just if they wanted to use Taskmaster. If they were really serious about having a female antagonist, Melina as the Iron Maiden would have been the much better option, and the film actually lays the groundwork for her to be the villain, because according to Black Widow, Melina was the one who not only arranged the kidnappings of the young girls to recruit into the Red Room, but she also developed the brainwashing technology that Dreykov uses to control the widows, and basically anyone else he wanted. There's even a scene from the film where Melina is using the technology to control a pig. What I also found interesting is that Melina was in one of the episodes of season 2 of What If, wearing a suit of armor similar to the Iron Maiden costume, though they never actually refer to her as that, so this tells me that they do know of this character's existence, so there was no excuse to not have her as the Iron Maiden. And this is just my opinion, but if they would have made this small change, Black Widow could have had a much better story, and could have even been similar to another MCU film that was well received, where the main character also discovered that a long-lost loved one had been working for an evil secret organization. And to really prove how this idea really enhances Black Widow's story, I'll use the same movie as an example. Towards the end of Winter Soldier, Steve has to get past Bucky to take down the inside helicarriers, so he has to fight his best friend basically. A scene like this would have been much more meaningful in Black Widow if Melina was working for Dreykov as the Iron Maiden, because it would have been Natasha fighting the woman who raised her instead of someone she thought she killed. So do you guys see how this little change would have made this movie so much better, but this is what we got instead? And it really speaks to why a lot of these female-led comic book films don't get good reception, but that's a whole nother topic for another video. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.